Welcome back to VQ Intel. Today, in this video, we're going to be working on finding limits with factoring. This worksheet, you can find the links to this worksheet down below in the comments. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to find these limits. And normally, we can find limits by using direct substitution. The problem is that in all these cases, we end up with 0 over 0. So the way we resolve this is we use direct substitution, but only after we factor. Because when we factor, we find that there's something in common that we can cancel out. So in this case, we have a difference of cubes, x cubed minus 64. Well, 64 is 4 cubed. And a difference of cubes can be factored. That can be factored into x minus 4 times x squared plus 4x plus 16 all over 4 minus x. Now these two factors, x minus 4 and 4 minus x, are opposites. So when we cancel them out, it's not like there's nothing left. They cancel out to be negative 1. So what we do is we write this with a negative sign out front. X squared plus 4x plus 16. But now there's no 0 over 0, which means we can substitute in 4 here and end up with an actual number. So negative 4 squared plus 4 times 4 plus 16. So this is negative 16 plus 16 plus 16, which is negative 48. So that is what this approach is. So we factored, we found the common factor that could cancel out, and then we found it by direct substitution. So let's go on to the second one. Here we have a difference of squares, x squared minus 64. So with this one, I'm going to factor the top into x minus 8 and x plus 8. So now we have the same identical factor on the top and on the bottom. So that will just cancel out, leaving us just x plus 8. So when I make the substitution, we have 8 plus 8, and that gives us 16 for that limit. On the next page, here we have another set of difference of squares. This time it's in the denominator. A lot of people think that it's always in the numerator where you factor. Not so. In some cases, it's going to be in the denominator. So when I factor this, again, this is a difference of squares. 1 squared is 1. 4x quantity squared is 16x squared. Now the thing to remember is that you have the 1 first and the 16x squared second. So you have to write it like this. 1 minus 4x times 1 plus 4x. And so here we see a similar situation to the one we saw in example number 1, where these are opposite factors. So when we cancel them, we have to remember to leave a negative behind. So when I do that, a common mistake is students think that there's nothing left. Well, it's actually 1, or in this case, negative 1. So now we can make our substitution 1/4 in. So negative 1 over 1 plus 4 times 1/4. So we have negative 1 over 1 plus 1. So we have negative 1/2. All right. Now the last one, a lot of people may think that it's not a factoring problem, but it actually kind of is. Because really what this is an issue of having to find what I can cancel x out of. Well, how do I cancel x out of the top? The way you do that is you focus on just the numerator. So I'm going to go over to the side here, and I'm just going to write 1 over x plus 4 minus 1 over 4. Now what I'm going to do is I want to write this as a single fraction. So to do that, I need a common denominator. So I'm going to multiply this top and bottom by 4. I'm going to multiply this top and bottom by the quantity x plus 4. So now I have 4 over 4 times the quantity x plus 4 minus x plus 4 all over the quantity 4 times x plus 4 here. Now with a common denominator, I can subtract these. So 4 minus this quantity, so 4 minus 4 is 0. So the only thing left is the minus x on top. Now all of this is a stand-in for this numerator. Now again, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to cancel out this x. Well, now I can see here. What if I took an x out of this? What am I left with? Negative 1 over 4 quantity x plus 4, like that. Well, there's my x that I can cancel away. So over here, I'm going to rewrite this limit as x approaches 0. And here's my numerator. X over negative 1 times 4 times x plus 4 all over x. So now I've got my x that I can cancel out. So I've factored out the x, and now we cancel it. So limit as x approaches 0. So we have negative 1 over 4 times x plus 4. And now we substitute in 0. So we have negative 1 over 4 times 0 plus 4. And we're left with negative 1 over 16. And there is our limit. Thanks for watching. If you want to support the channel, click on any of the links below. Remember, the best way to understand something is to do it.